Stephen Curry is a four-time NBA champion, an Olympic gold medalist, a top 75 NBA player, and a future Hall of Famer. It feels like there's nothing on the court this man can do wrong. But off the court may paint a different picture. And this is when I introduce to you Ayesha Curry. Now, when we first started to see Ayesha next to Steph, she came across as the perfect NBA wife. Always at Steph games, cheering him on as he started to become an NBA legend right before our eyes. But somewhere down the line, the joy of being Steph Curry's wife started to change. Or did it? Because at that time, when we thought Ayesha was the perfect wife, we never heard her really talk. And once we started to see her go on podcasts and put herself out there as a public figure, we started to hear her say things like this.
The thing that really bothers me and honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, there are all these women throwing themselves, but me, the past 10 years, I don't have any of that. I have zero, this sounds weird, but male attention.
So here it is. You have a woman that noticed how women throw themselves at her man, and it makes her feel away. Not because women are throwing themselves at Steph Curry, but because other men aren't giving her the same attention that other women are giving her husband. Cue in Kevin Samuels.
She married a guy that she thinks she's better than, and honestly, she's jealous of him. She's jealous because I'm sitting at home, pumped out 3 kids, and he's on TV every day. He's getting all the fame. He's getting all the red carpet treatment. He's getting all this. And only time she gets attention is attention that he deflects to her. We wouldn't know about Ayesha Curry if it wasn't for Steph. He tries to put her in the spotlight. He tries to put her in front and center. And guess what? If she had what it takes, she'd already be there. And that's what's not being told.
Sheesh. Now, Kevin always had a gift at pointing out things that we might have overlooked. And one of those things he pointed out was if Ayesha had that it factor, she would have already been lit, but she's not. And even now, as we seen some of her past interviews, she states that sometimes she regret or really wonder what would her life be like if she didn't become Stephen Curry's wife and a stay-at-home mom and chose the career girl path in life. As if it's healthy for her to say these things on a public platform for the world to pick apart her words and how she feels within her marriage.
It's healthy to, in front of a bunch of strangers in a public setting, to talk about how your husband just kind of doesn't get it and how it's much harder for you to not have been able to pursue your dreams that were literally only that. Dreams. There was nothing in your reality that looked like you were about to be in the trajectory of becoming a C-suite executive.
And you see that the issue people are having with Ayesha, she's acting like she would have been this big time celebrity had she not married Stephen Curry. Which is crazy because the only reason we know of you is because of Steph. There's nothing from your past we can pull from to say, man, yeah, she was popping. Man, she had her own following way before Steph. See, in hindsight, it's easy to say what you would have, could have, and should have did now that you're rich. That's like saying, man, if I was 6'6" instead of 5'11", I would have been in the NBA. Even though most guys do say that, y'all get my point. But again, these things, every few months, we see Ayesha go on podcasts and interviews and reiterate these things about her life and her marriage. And as fans, it makes us feel like you don't really like Steph Curry. Now, when we think of Steph, we never hear of him talk bad about his marriage, nor do we hear him say anything about what he would change about his marriage or Ayesha, despite her going on these platforms and doing the exact opposite. This is what caused so many women to question her and her intentions with Steph.
But at this point, you're embarrassing him because it's like every interview you want to let it be known you're not happy. Then let somebody else marry him. Let somebody else live the lavish lifestyle. Let somebody else make him happy. What you thought was gonna happen marrying a basketball player? You thought he was gonna be home every single day? No, bro. That's what comes with the game. I would be meal prepping for that man, doing everything he gotta do. You on interviews talking about how In other words, you're miserable. You act like you want to go cheat.
Now, what this woman is saying makes sense. Based on how we hear Ayesha talk about her marriage, it's like if you're not happy, then why don't you just leave him? Try to live the life that you claim you would have if you wasn't with him, and let someone else who would love to be in your shoes fulfill them. And another thing that woman said in the clip is Ayesha do really come off like she really wants to cheat. This is something the internet has been speculating for a long time now. Like she's showing her body off, hanging out in Toronto all alone. She's taking off her ring on national TV when a mustard guy walks in. Play the clip.
Oh, all right, Ayesha, I think it's time for a drink. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Yes, we get to drink. Marcel? Marcel?
Like, it's clear that this lady feels like she lost out on some experiences in life. And I think that Ayesha is better on the fact that if she does cheat, that Steph isn't going to leave her. And that's why she's going on these platforms and saying what she's saying. It's like when you have a badass kid and they keep doing these little things just to test the waters to see how much they can get away with. This is why when 6ix9ine said this on Neon Stream.
Biggest name girl you've ever fucked?
If I lied, do I get sued for defamation?
Who's the most famous girl you ever fucked?
Yes, you know.
Ayesha Curry.
Wow.
People are starting to run with this lie. You know, people are making jokes like 6ix9ine is so much of a snitch that he's probably telling the truth, and so on and so forth. But I think he's lying, he's trolling, you know, trying to say whatever he can that will go viral. But the reason why this lie of 6ix9ine saying he had relations with Ayesha can grow legs is because of how Ayesha carries herself when it comes to her relationship with Steph. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments. And you know I'm gonna ask you to subscribe, like, and comment because you know it's free to show love. And you made it this far in this video for a reason. But until the next video, have a blessed day. Peace.